So, chat, today I want to talk to you guys about an interesting story that has been kind of making waves on the internet as of late, involving someone known as JF, or Jean-Francois Gariépy. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's French, and so like French names, I don't do them well. So I'm probably going to screw up his name. Most people just call him JF, and I'm going to call him JF moving forward. Let me get some ones in the chat if you're not familiar with who JF is. And while we see if any of those ones come through, I'll just go ahead and I'll explain it to you by reading their Wikipedia article. So it says JF is a French-Canadian white nationalist, former neuroscience researcher, and alt-right political commentator. JF hosted the YouTube channel The Public Space before launching his current channel, JFG Tonight, where he calls for the creation of a white ethno-state, promotes anti-Semitic messages, and advocates for the genetic superiority of white people. The Anti-Defamation League lists The Public Space among white supremacist channels. JF has been described as a, quote, standard bearer of the alt-right. Oh, shit! Oh, so he's lovely people, chat. He's a wonderful person, as if you can't tell just based off of this description of him, okay? Just based off of this description. I want to read a little bit more from the Wikipedia just to kind of give you a little bit more about who this person is and why this person's so noteworthy and why I was so interested in the topic that we're about to talk about tonight. It says, JF was raised in Saint Sophie, Quebec, and has been married 3 times. JF and his third wife separated in July of 2015. In December 2015, his wife gave birth to his first son. In the ensuing custody battle, his wife accused JF of emotional abuse and of threatening to abduct their child to his native Canada. JF's wife was given custody, to which JF appealed. The appellate court judge ordered JF to undergo a psychological evaluation, which resulted in JF being evaluated as very bright intellectually, while also showing a lack of insight and impulse control. During the custody case, JF started a relationship with a 19-year-old mestizo autistic woman from Texas and eventually convinced her to drive to North Carolina to be with him and attempted to get her pregnant. As the parents objected to their daughter's relationship with JF, a case was filed in which the woman was revealed to have, quote, the social and mental maturity of a 10 or 11-year-old child, chat. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Jeez. According to a psychologist, JF claimed she was pregnant with his child, but this was proven false. Guardianship was consequently transferred to the parents, who severed the relationship. In an interview, JF told the Daily Beast that the current family court system is designed to, quote, harass men, to harass white heterosexual males. Right now, I'm currently being treated as a criminal by courts that don't have power to put me in jail, but they have the power to ruin my life.
Thanks for the money, you fucking simp.
Thank you.
Donated $2.01. Yeah, a supremacist is totally a good person.
Thank you very much for the super chat. In case it wasn't obvious that I was being sarcastic, I was being sarcastic when I said that, okay? I do not think JF is a good person. I think he's a very, very bad person, okay? So if that wasn't crystal clear enough, all right, let me make that clear. That was sarcasm. Anyway, so regarding this situation involving this 19-year-old autistic girl that he tried to, like, convince to, like, leave their family to go live with him so he can impregnate her, this was, by my recollection, the first time I remember hearing about JF. As a matter of fact, when I first heard about JF, it was in this video by Destiny. This is a video that Destiny put out 5 years ago, December 29, 2017. Coercing and marrying a mentally challenged person, debate with JF and Andy Worski. This was, like I said, this was, I believe, my first experience finding out about JF. Now, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of details on this situation, we're actually going to watch a little bit of this video so you can kind of hear how this conversation went at the time. So without further ado,
play that shit.
Here we go.
Talk to them about this shit, or you just want to?
Yeah,
like,
bring me on.
Like say fuck it.
Bring me on.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
it's not going to be a very pleasant show because he's going to come and he's going to drop all sorts of falsity, and I'm going to be responding the same thing all over again, which is, yeah, those were allegations.
Bring 'em in!
They were not found to
Bring
be
'em
proved
in!
by a court.
Bring 'em
if
in!
you think there
Bring 'em in!
is an
Bring 'em in!
entertainment
Bring me
value
in!
to this,
I remember literally watching this video when it first came out and thinking that this situation was utter insanity, chat. Like, it was insane to me that this guy could talk about trying to get this woman away from her parents, this very young and very mentally challenged woman away from her parents, convince her to move to another state to live with him and to have a baby with him. And he just was there. He tried to make it seem like there was nothing wrong with that. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, what? It's insane.
bring him on. I don't mind, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a very sad discussion.
You want to just do 5 minutes with him right now, and I'll time it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. I'll time it too. Let me just get my timer ready here. Hang on. I'm not going to send him the link until I have the timer ready, because I hope you enjoy when I push along the show. And I'm sorry if I move along too fast, but I'm just making sure that everything is fucking fair in this. And this is a serious allegation against my friend JF here, and I want to give him a chance to respond. I have actually a buddy. I don't know if I told you this, JF, but a buddy broke up with his girlfriend before. And
this is like old school Destiny chat. This was old school. This was not long after, if I remember correctly, this was not long after the infamous JonTron debate. So that'll give you an idea of how long ago this was.
He broke up with her like a few times and she wouldn't let him, blah, blah, blah. He went to her front door. He was like, hey, it's done. He handed her like a box of shit, right? And she's like, no, we're not done. We're not done. So he's trying to run away, and she's running after him in the middle of the night. And she grabbed him, and he's trying to shake her off. And then she just started.
The Raves donated $5. Yay, it's so tailored to women. That's why I won custody of my kids after my ex-wife was proven to be extremely abusive to both me and the kids. He's a fool.
Thanks
Thank you
for
very
the
much for
money,
the super chat. I do
fucking
appreciate it.
KingZack259 donated $3.
Thank you.
Stream notification, a nice surprise after May Day.
Thank you very much for that super chat. I do appreciate it.
Screaming rape, rape over and over. And a pickup truck full of dudes came out. We're driving by with their windows open, heard this, came out and beat the shit out of him. And he went to court, and then he had all the evidence against her. So there's a lot of fucking bullshit here. So I've seen it happen.
The reason I'm willing to talk about this is that there are hundreds of people listening to us right now who are victim of false allegation in this country, and particularly in family courts.
On the stream, it's not a big deal, but she just wanted to say probably the meanest thing I've done on Twitter was telling a black-white mixed race couple that their kids are going to have a lower than average IQ, and they tried rubbing their relationship in my face. But from my perspective, what I said...
What the fuck? What the It's been a long time since I've watched this. Holy shit.
There is 100% true. I do believe that if more people were aware of this, they would think twice about who they partner up with. I'm going to disagree with that like right now before I finish her statement, because I'm more of a humanitarian and an individualist, and I believe people should do whatever they want. You could ask JF if this is true.
There
I'm
you
sure
go.
he will confirm
There
regarding
we
the
go.
IQ part.
Thanks for the
A lot of
money,
this
fucking
information isn't
Sorry
nice
about that,
to hear,
chat. I don't know
but
why
truth
that
is the
audio
truth. And
started playing.
99% of the time, I will try to not be mean about it. And my answer, or a thought process on that, by the way, is I haven't...
Jesus, just let... Where does Destiny actually call in? Holy shit.
This is me digging into his history. No, it's okay, my dude.
I say, you were right about the fucking skeptics.
No, it's okay, my dude.
But you are an asshole. Go.
Yeah, I am. I am an asshole. Okay. So I'm going to preface this with a somewhat meaningless preface that I don't like to do digging into like personal attacks. JF has described this as me digging into his history. The only reason I'm kind of interested in this is because JF has brought it up on at least 2 independent occasions across different podcasts, and he seems to have a way of telling this story that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And the fact that he brings it up publicly and then kind of defends it feels a little bit weird to me.
It seems like that's a pattern of behavior with JF, where anytime he finds himself in these like tricky situations, he has like this odd way of explaining things that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense and makes him come off as like super, super sus, chat. And the situation that, right now I'm showing you guys some backstory with JF, giving you guys a little bit of history of what kind of person JF is before we actually get into the situation that is going on right now. Because I want to show you guys just how crazy this fucking guy is. And then we're going to get into what's going on right now, which it does seem like some people in the chat are already familiar with the current ongoing, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody who doesn't know. So anyway, let's continue.
An unrelated third party said that he was somewhat familiar with JF because he's also a PhD neuroscientist, and he posted the court documents that he found. So this is something that kind of bothers me because this is one of those things where, like, even if you remove the mental illness aspect from this girl, I think that what JF has done is incredibly disgusting and insanely irresponsible. So basically, I'm not going to use even any of the court-sourced stuff. In JF's own words, a 19-year-old girl communicated with him online. He fell in love with her. He convinced her to leave her family and join him in North Carolina. And then after 3 weeks of being with her, a girl that had never lived on her own, worked a job, lived apart from her parents, been in a relationship, he convinced her to try to have a child with him. That is insanely inappropriate for a 32-year-old guy to do that to a 19-year-old girl, leaving aside the mental illness.
Jeez. Oh, shit. Okay, chat. So you can kind of see why this situation is batshit fucking insane now, right, chat? 32-year-old guy, 19-year-old girl. That in itself is okay, kind of weird, right? What could you possibly relate to at 32 years old with a 19-year-old girl where you would feel like, okay, like I want... it's not like pedophilia or anything like that, but it's still kind of weird because, like, what is a 32-year-old gonna, be able to relate to with a 19-year-old girl, okay? But also, she's very autistic. She's autistic to the degree that she has the intelligence of a 10 to 11-year-old. And he has talked this girl into leaving her family, going to a completely different state with him, right? And then having a baby with him. Oh boy.
Yeah, but she's nice.
So you know what? I will simply correct one fact, and for the rest, I will let the internet judge. I was not with her for 3 weeks. I was with her for 6 months. Other than that,
living together.
I don't care about your moral offense, you piece of shit.
Sure, you don't have to care about my moral offense because the court already...
He's getting really defensive, right, chat? He's getting super defensive.
Agreed with me about the moral offense, that this girl did not have the... Two independent psychiatrists evaluated this girl. The first said that she had the social and mental skills of a 10 to 11-year-old child, and the second one said that she wasn't fit to make the decision to leave and live with you and have a child, which is obviously evidenced by the fact that she had no income. She didn't know if you had income. She had never lived on her own before, and despite all of this, you convinced her to leave her family without a word to join you and make a baby.
Destiny, may I just...
That's called love, you idiot.
That's called love? But a 19-year-old girl? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, a 19-year-old girl can love, you idiot.
Hey,
He's so mad, Chad. He's so mad. That's called love, you idiot. It's weird. It's fucking weird, okay?
Lecturing...
Hang on.
Do you want people in the future to be scared of going out with...
I need to add that on the soundboard, chat. The sound of him saying, that's called love, you idiot.
Mentally disabled people. To be scared that eventually Destiny will find out and he will ruin their life.
So,
let's call this what it is. This is a grown-ass man in his 30s taking advantage of a mentally impaired young girl. That's what this is, right? And am I the only one that looks at this situation? One in the chat, if you agree with me, that this is very clearly a case of a man in his 30s taking advantage of a young woman who's mentally impaired. It looks like most of you guys agree.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff. Or,
1 second, because this is something that someone, I will read all the other super chats, but someone just donated $5. Dick fingers, $5. Thanks, buddy. So this isn't a hypocrisy I do see with you right now, Destiny.
What?
Hang on, chill, buddy.
Come on. That's what the hypocrisy is.
Not on what you're saying right now, but on other subjects that you've talked about. You wrote this in your own words, you fucking idiot. You asked if pedophilia was wrong and incest as well on stream. And you have to explain to us how is it immoral that JF dated a 19-year-old, even if she has the mental capacity of, let's say, like, what was it, 12, 13? What was it?
No, first, that's not true. That's a claim that the psychiatrist made, and that claim was not found to be true by any judge, and I was not able, in fact, even to argue against that claim because it is discarded in the case. Now, it is a 19-year-old woman who was free to make her choices, and she's decided that she wanted to start a family with me. Steven can come here and express moral offense. Who cares? Everyone in the chat says 19 is legal, Steven. So what are you going to do now?
So why didn't she fight the court about...
Okay, so I think we've seen enough of this chat for you guys to get an idea of what it is we're dealing with here. If you guys want to see the rest of this video, I'll go ahead and I'll post a link in the chat where you guys can check it out. But I think we got the gist of it, okay? So this guy is a really insane guy who has a history, okay? He has a history of hooking up with these young girls who are clearly not all there mentally, and it feels like he's doing this so he could take advantage of these girls, okay? Like he can talk these girls into pretty much anything because they're not in like a mental state where they can make a good decision. And so let's fast forward a little bit to him meeting this woman that has been lovingly called Mama JF. Okay, this is his wife or girlfriend. I think it's his girlfriend. I don't think they're married. But this is his girlfriend. And they call her Mama JF. And it's another situation where she's not all there. I don't know how old Mama JF is. I think we find out a little bit later in one of the articles. I'm not 100% sure. But Mama JF is not entirely there mentally. Okay, chat. I'm actually going to play this compilation of Mama JF moments just so you guys can get an idea of this Mama JF person and kind of where their head is at. So let's just dive right into it.
Said it's a cheese that I really love. It is the original orange cheddar. Now people are saying, Jeff, why don't you share with Mama Jeff? Well, do you want some?
No, because we went to his mother's house and after I drank so much this morning and then...
You'll have to excuse her. She's French Canadian. English is not her first language, so it's a little difficult to understand her at times, but anyway, let's continue.
I feel like, oh my god.
Okay, you feel like, oh my god, so you see she doesn't want to eat.
And also I eat only cheese since 2 days, only cheese. Because you give me why you give me so much cheese, GM? You're like a Neil deGrasse Tyson. Is it like a blood for...
No, you cannot accuse celebrities here of rape. This is the public space.
Why? There's so much
No, you cannot defame anyone.
I think you guys can already see, though, that she's not quite all there, right? I'm not going to try and, like, diagnose what she has or whatever, but she's not all there. Nico Nerd, the chat says it's apparent she's intellectually disabled. Yeah. This just seems to be JF's MO, dating mentally impaired women. Yeah.
This is what took place. These are the kinds of people
maybe
they
we
are.
could have
This
done
is
that.
what we have to arrest. Is that Mama JF? I thought I heard something.
I remember seeing clips of this moment when this moment happened on Twitter, and oh boy.
Anyhow,
I had to mute Mama Jeff because she was telling some mean things about No White Guilt. I apologize. Everyone who's a fan of the show knows that Mama Jeff has an uncontrollable.
Imagine having somebody on your show. This is just to kind of like give you guys an idea of the kind of person JF is. He has someone on his show as a guest whose online alias, the name they are known by on the internet, is No White Guilt, chat. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay. Okay.
An irrational hate of No White Guilt, and we don't hate her for it. It's just a brain spark that she has where she construes No White Guilt as someone else. All right, Lawrence Forbes says, does Mama Jeff really have an issue with No White Guilt, or is she just fooling around? She has an actual issue.
I need to.
See, she's not all there
Don't
upstairs.
say anything violent.
No, I want to.
What do you have to say?
No, I get seriously. You tried to kill me, okay?
Okay.
And I'm fucking sick that you're fucking me with me. You always follow me everywhere, and
All right.
and you say you want to make spiritual movement, but you fucking tried to kill me for 3 years, okay? You're a fucking
Okay.
psychopath, man.
Thomas s'est dit, maintenant va
My understanding of this situation is she sees this No White Guilt person, and she is mistaking them for someone who had attacked her in the past. And so she's having this like freak out on stream because she thinks this is the person who attacked her.
Okay, so the answer to the super chat is that Mama JF mistakes No White Guilt for someone who has committed acts of violence against her. So that's why you see her currently sad. Mama JF has been the victim of an act of violence. It was not by No White Guilt at all. She is confused, and because she is confused, she associates No White Guilt with... People are asking on the regular chat, is Mama JF okay? Yes, she is doing good. I don't know if she wants to come to say hi, but she is doing good. So no worries for Mama.
Well, based on what we're about to talk about in a little bit, we don't know if Mama JF is okay anymore. Yeah.
Mama JF.
Hey,
Hello.
hey, I just want to say, no, I will never accept your apologies, okay? What you did to me was so mean. And this guy is not a real person. He's doing shape-shifting. And he's a ghost. Don't believe him. He's not a real person.
Okay.
And you want to kill me.
Okay.
She just said that No White Guilt is a shape-shifting ghost, and you shouldn't trust him. So again, that gives you an idea of where she's at mentally. Okay, chat. All right, I think we've seen enough. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of this so you can get an idea of the mental capacity of this person, okay? Moving along. Now, let's get into the topic of discussion for tonight. And I think the best place to start is this tweet that was posted to Twitter a couple days ago now by JF himself. The police in Canada is looking for Mama JF because in true Mama JF fashion, she has left our home in June and has disappeared from the map. I am sure that Mama JF is fine. I know she has been safe for at least 2 days after I dropped her where she wanted in June. Mama JF left our home entirely voluntary to go live a life of adventure, wherever it would bring her. But since she has electronically disappeared, not connecting to her cell phone or updating me or her family, I ask anyone who would have encountered her to just notify the police so that they can know she is safe. and I ask her if she wants to leave a note to the police, me or her family, to ensure everyone of her safety. If you want to send an encrypted tip anonymously, I can receive them at jfgariépy@proton.me. The woman that I just showed you guys moments ago, she's now missing, chat. And according to JF, she voluntarily chose to leave back in June. Okay? But now she's gone missing, and the police are now looking for her. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! I actually have an article here that we could take a look at in regards to this. Let me actually zoom in a little bit because the text is a little on the small side. PIERCPM put out call for info on woman missing since June 17th. Elora Patoin, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Patoin? Is that how you pronounce? I don't know. 30. Okay, she's 30 years old, chat. Has ties to both Western PIE and the province of Quebec. RCMP on PIE have put out a call for information on a woman who was last seen in mid-June after receiving a call from someone they described as a concerned citizen. The last known sighting of her was on June 17th in Borden, Carleton, the village that's home to the PEI end of the Confederation Bridge linking the province to New Brunswick. She is 30 years old. She is 5 foot 10 inches and weighs 140 pounds and has brown curly hair. She speaks both French and English. RCMP Corporal Gavin Moore says the investigation began this weekend when police got a call expressing worry about her. This is a high priority file, he said. We make efforts to follow up with all known contacts to that individual. We reach out and make sure that anybody who may come across them will let us know. He expects police will be conducting interviews and checking through any available surveillance video as they search for her. Moore said that she has links to both Prince Edward Island and Quebec, and her last known address was in Western PEI. When someone goes missing, it has deep and far-reaching impacts for the person and those that know them, said a post on the Facebook page maintained by the RCMP. We ask that people spread the word through social media respectfully. Both Prince District RCMP and the Force's Major Crime Unit are investigating, and it says how anybody who has information can contact them with any information they have. Okay? This is... So she's gone missing, chat. Okay? She has been reported missing, and law enforcement is investigating. So... obviously, people are looking to JF for answers, especially considering she's been gone for so long. This guy's been continuing to do his show as if like nothing's happened or whatever. And this woman has been missing for so long. So people are looking to JF for answers. And we already read the initial tweet, but I want to take a look at some of these responses of his that have been kind of interesting. Bruh, did you keep some video evidence or something to prove that you drove her and left her somewhere safely? It seems inevitable that you are going to become some kind of suspect of an investigation or something like that. To be honest, Mama JF doesn't seem like the kind of person. He responds with no worries. My whole life is electronically recorded. My home is covered in cameras. My every movement tracked. Don't let the trolls convince you of a narrative. Follow the professionals of the police force who know what they are doing. So they're claiming that, like, oh, there's no reason for me to be worried about anything. Like, it's fine. Everything's cool, right? You were the last known person to see her since June? No, she has been traveling and leaving an electronic trace far from mine, so I do not expect to be a suspect in her disappearance. Why would you say that? You do not expect to be a suspect in her disappearance? That's pretty sus, my guy. That's pretty yikes. What else do we have here? What resources have you put into locating her? You need to do so ASAP to clear your name. I'd be phoning every person she knew, driving to every family member's house, and posting missing flyers at every business that she frequented. He responds with locationism, the false modern leftist idea that you are entitled to know where people are. He seems completely just not interested in trying to locate her. He seems to not have a care in the world about the fact that she's gone missing. He's just like, it's not my business. Oh, let me see if I let me see if I can do the impersonation. It is not my business to know where she is located. Like, what are you talking about? What? Are you... What? So then he goes on to say, the mainstream media hit piece business is so thriving that I get multiple requests from multiple supposedly independent outlets asking me to dox the same person on the same day. What is this? Let's take a look at this. Actually, let me open it in a new tab so we can blow it up a little bit bigger. Here we go. Oh, that's a little too big. Hold on, chat. I think that's good. Yeah, okay, that's good. Hello, JF. My name is Blank, and I'm a reporter with NBC News. I'm working on a story that intersects with your work, and I'm wondering if you have a minute to talk about it today. Has to do with blank that you had on your show years ago, blank. You can reach me by my phone or text, blank. Thank you so much. Here are my comments on the story. It is unethical for a journalist to pursue the identification of an anon, as it can cause useless harm to people's lives and contributes to a culture of intimidation and extortion. Because I do not support such culture, I do not engage with such journalists. Best, JF. Okay. That's interesting. That is interesting. So, now we have this. So that's why, after she left, I spent 3 days replacing all the drywall and totally sterilized the place. Oh shit! What? Hold on. Let's watch the clip, chat. This is where things get even more fishy, chat. Here we go.
What matters in life, what matters most of life. And so what can I do? I cannot hate her. I cannot be frustrated about this, and that's it. So that's why I had to take 3 days total to I made so much cleaning, so much reinstalling, so much plastering of the walls, construction, renovation. I wanted to set the home in the way I like it. It's like sterilize this home now. I can walk finally. I can access everything. The fridge is super clean.
Okay,
matters.
So his girlfriend voluntarily left the home, right? Our understanding is that she was going on a trip, and he didn't know if she was going to be back or not. She was just going on a trip. As you'll see a little bit later, he talks about how she does these kind of trips all the time. It's not a big deal. And he decided when she left this time to fully clean the house, sterilize it, as he referred to it, cleaned it top to bottom, did renovations on the home, and like just completely like changed the home and cleaned up the home and did construction on the home. All kinds of like, these are not normal things to do when your loved one leaves, like, and you think it's just for a short trip or something like that. Okay. Like, I've definitely had like where my wife will leave. Maybe she'll go on a trip with her parents for like a few days or a week or something like that. And, no offense to my wife. I love you, babe. If you happen to be watching this, my wife's a little bit of a hoarder, likes to bring stuff home that she doesn't need, and it just kind of stacks up and stuff like that. So I've been known to tidy up a little bit when the wife goes away, right? Just kind of sort things and put them in a place where they're not in the way and it's not super cluttered and stuff like that. That's normal, right? But we're not talking about a little bit of spring cleaning while the missus is away. We're talking about this guy completely like I said, as he put it, sanitizing the home, renovating the home, like making significant changes to the home after his girlfriend leaves on what appears to be a short trip. right? That doesn't sound normal. Something is very odd here, right? We got some more clips that were sent to me. Let's take a look at these. What do we have here?
In June, she left. And 2 days after leaving, so she left and she had a whole plan. She had bought camping material. She was on her way to some sort of survivalist trip. From what I understood, it looked like she was preparing for life in the wild.
Transgirl J in the chat says she left in June. It's now October. Yeah, and it's barely being reported to the authorities now. It's barely being reported to the authorities now. And keep in mind, he's saying that he lost contact. So she left in June. According to him, she left in June voluntarily. They agreed to keep in contact with each other, right? And then like 2 or 3 days later, she said that change of plans. I don't intend to keep in touch with you or anything like that. I'm just going to go and do my own thing. And he lost contact with her way back in June. Okay? A few days after he took her where she wanted to go, he lost contact with her way back in June and didn't say a fucking word about it. It was a third party who was concerned about their safety that decided to call the police. And that's why there's an investigation going on now. Clouds and Doubt in the chat says, so sus. True. Very true.
She promised me when she left that she would always be reachable and that I would be able to reach her to deal with all of the official papers. You know, that she owns a lot of stuff and sometimes I need her signature. And I was like, and although, you know, we do have legal remedies for this, I was like, if you totally disappear, you might put me in trouble on some bills, on some, you know, getting utilities and everything. So she promised to me that she wouldn't fully disappear. She went away. And 2 days later, she talked to me on the phone and sent a message. But by the way, everything I tell you is things I have told to the police. So it's not, there's no secret coming out that you guys are hearing. It might be secret from a public perspective, but it's all things that the feds have been knowing for a couple of days. So the last message that she sends me in June, 2 days after leaving, and it had been apparent, I think I may have been in contact for a couple of times during these 2 days, so I was sure that she was progressing through whatever trip she wanted to do. I knew that she was still alive. But 2 days after leaving, she says, I have changed my plans. I will not hold my promise toward you. I will not be reachable. And it's like, okay. She says, I have a new plan. And I'm like, does your new plan involve any sort of attack against me or the family? Because you guys know how important that is to me. She says, you don't have to be worried. My new plan does not involve you. I'm just going to change cell phone. Now, I knew that
everything about this is so fucking weird. Literally, it doesn't make sense. Why would your girlfriend ask, like, hey, I want to go on this, like, journey into the woods or on this, like, trip or, you know, whatever the case may be. I want to go. We're going to keep in touch, but I want to go on this little trip, right? And I'll be back when I'm back. And don't worry, we'll keep in touch. And then like 2 or 3 days later, she's like, oh, by the way, that plans to like keep in touch and everything like that. Not going to happen. Not going to. And then to not say a word about it since fucking June. This is mad sus, chat. It doesn't fucking add up.
She had left without any sort of electronic tracking. You know how the police can track you with your credit card, with your debit card. She had left with nothing but her phone. So when she said that to me through text, I concluded, okay, she's going off grid. You know, she's going full survivalism, and kind of in her fashion. I mean, that's the way Mama JF is.
Okay, yeah, this doesn't add up. This sounds really fucking weird.
Thanks for the
It
money,
doesn't make
fucking
sense.
simp.
Thank you.
Donated $2. That's a bit sussy.
Yeah, it's very, very sus. It's very, very sus. Thank you for the super chat. We have another clip. We're going to listen to this one too. Here we go. What is this? What is this?
Again, disappearing. And, you know, just before she left in June, I remember a bizarre show where I accused her of terrorism because she...
Wait, a bizarre show where he accused her of terrorism?
Tried to enter the studio with something that I do not allow at all on this show, like, at all. And she knows it very well that there will never be such things on this show. And she attempted to surprise me by surprise opening the door of the studio and came running to my camera. And I had the chance to turn off the camera just before she arrived to me, because it's like 2 meters. So that she did a 2-meter run to try to violate one of the ultimate rule of the show, a rule so intense that you guys cannot even ever hear it. That you guys cannot even tell you what the rule is. And it's like, and then I said, Mama JF, you're banned from the show for a couple of weeks because that was actual terrorism. You have attempted to terrorize me, and yeah, so that was maybe weeks before she left. I don't know that it's directly related, but I think that she was starting to kind of be in a mood of party, and in her...
Okay, so they had some kind of conflict 2 or 3 weeks before she left, chat. Okay. Interesting. So, we got another tweet. Society will not improve as long as people prefer to attribute guilt to innocent men rather than conceive of the possibility that poor female decision-making does in fact exist. It is pretty wild to see people attacking me with the wildest impossible theories rather than accept the simple reality that our society has a problem of poor female decision-making that it refuses to face. Oh boy. This guy has a really high, he thinks very highly of women, chat. The algorithm that plays out in people's brains can be readily observed as it deploys itself in social media in invectives. It's something bad. If something bad happens to women, find closest man, he's responsible. Most haters play this algorithm one way or another. The first layer attributes guilt for murder. Just jump straight to murder, chat. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! A second, more subtle group attributes guilt for not caring enough. But what is a man supposed to do? Excuse me. What is a man supposed to do in the face of a modern female who chooses to utter the words, "I want to go"? How many of those criticizing me today would be criticizing me for abuse and detainment had I not let her go? In the end, only a small group of people truly understand the fallacy of the whole algorithm presented above. This algorithm is simply incompatible with our own society's stance on individual female liberty and emancipation, which have been elevated to sacrosanct status. Here we are playing with the forces that the Bible had warned us against. Okay. I want to play a little bit of this show that they did. This was back in June, when she apparently left or whatever. This is his show, JFG Tonight. Let's see what he had to say back then. Let's skip his little intro here.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to JFG Tonight. I'm back after 3 days of vacation. It's good to be back on the internet. Let me tell you, it's really not part of my habit to be gone from the internet, but I had to, and I will explain why. But before that, if you want to be blackpilled, Justin, the Pentagon says accounting error provides extra 6.2 billion for Ukraine military aid. It's like this Monopoly card. Like, oh, you get $50 for free due to an error of the bank. Can't believe this, but I mean, I scroll down, and what do I see? I see a woman saying that could have paid for a lot of gender affirming care during Pride Month. Can you believe that your brain is in that place where you're like, okay, a big loss has happened for the US government, and the only thing you can think of, since it's a loss where we've sent by error $6.2 billion to Zelensky, and the only thing that comes to your mind is, oh my God, we could have made so much sex change surgery onto people with this. If you are not blackpilled, you should be starting now.
Jeez.
The reason I was away from the show is that there were big changes here in the home. Mama JF has abandoned the family once again. It's really too bad. It sucks. And it's not something that I wanted, but it is just, that's just what it is. I mean, I've been covering for many years how women are just unstable. And as long as you don't constrain them legally to stay with you, they will choose to become a crack whore on the street.
What the fuck?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
What the fuck did he just say? Hold on.
Stable, and as long as you don't constrain them legally to stay with you, they will choose to become a crack whore on the street before they choose a stable relationship. So it's as simple as this. Civilization is either a polygamous crack whore based civilization, or it's a marriage based one, and men must be the one just forcing it. We have to force it. We have to give up our principles for choice and liberty, and that's just what it is. Now,
what the okay. I did not expect that. Okay then. I don't think we need to hear much more than that. So JF actually went on the Crucible earlier tonight, and I thought to wrap up this segment, we'd listen to a little bit of this to see what they had to say on the Crucible. So we're just going to bring this up, and we're going to listen to a little bit of it. So without further ado,
Play that shit!
Here we go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to The Crucible. I'm your host, Andrew Wilson. Tonight, we have someone who's no stranger to The Crucible. He's been on for multiple debates, but now apparently he's landed in it a bit. JF Gariépy. Welcome all. We're going to bring him out for an interview in just a second. Hello, Ethan Ralph. Hello, Kino Casino. Hello, everybody who's stream sniping. You're welcome to watch as well. JF Gariépy. Long time no see. Welcome back to The Crucible.
Hello. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm a little bit disappointed by the thumbnail, Andrew.
What was in the thumbnail?
It's a little neutral. It's a little drab. I would have gone with something like exclusive interview, the Hudson Bay Butcher.
Yeah, well, so, speaking of this...
Is he really making light of this very serious... Let me remind you, chat, his girlfriend has gone missing, and he's just making light of this situation, making jokes about the fact that people are speculating that he may have murdered this woman, chat, and he's just making jokes. Also, what was so upsetting about the thumbnail? Can I bring up the thumbnail and see what was the thumbnail for this video? Hold on. I'm kind of curious now because he wasn't too happy about it. Oh, it doesn't. Where did it go? Oh, is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay. So that's the thumbnail. JF comes onto the Crucible. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, let's continue.
And by the way, I'll get on my thumbnail guy about this because you're right. I feel like in this exclusive, I really should have gone all out, and so I probably have to fire him. But I have heard rumors to the effect of everything that you have bashed Mama's JF's brains in with a shovel to you have been picking her remains out of the refrigerator and eating it for breakfast. Now, JF, I don't want to put any words in your mouth, but going backwards to forwards, can you give us a good established timeline of events?
Yes, and what you just mentioned there seems to be the perception of some people on the internet, and so I find myself forced in these interviews and in my own show. I didn't want to talk about this story for many days, and people saw that I was a little more nervous on stream, that I had a little less time for preparation in the last few weeks, and in the last week mostly, and it was largely
Siberian Winter in the chat says, I love dark humor as much as the next guy, but dude, not funny. I know we're talking about someone. This woman is still missing. Chat at the time of like this broadcast, this woman is still missing. And so like to crack jokes like this, it's just like you said, I love me some edgy humor. I love me some dark humor, but like, I don't know. I feel like if I was this guy and like I was in this position, I'd be freaking out. Like, where's my wife? Where's my significant other? And instead, he's cracking jokes about how people on the internet think he murdered her and threw her in a ditch or some shit. What the fuck?
Because I was thinking about this case, but I didn't want to talk about it. But now that the police decided to go with the case of the disappearance of Mama JF, it's now public, and it's better for me to talk a little bit about it to correct the misinformation that's out there, and also to help this investigation, because I don't think it's an investigation that targets any sort of persecution against her or me. I think that there's just too much people who want to know where Mama JF is, and they got worried, and justifiably so to some extent. I mean, no one knows where Mama JF is currently, as that we know. She has gone on a trip, and she left no trace behind. And she intentionally, apparently, got rid of anything that could help track her. So, in the modern world,
that's so fucking weird. That is so fucking weird. She's gotten rid of any devices or anything that can be used to track her location. And he's just like, whatever, dude. Like, it is what it is. This is just something she does. Like, no, this is not normal behavior for anyone. Does he actually think we're buying this shit?
It's very easy. If you keep a credit card, a cell phone, anything, they will be able to get back to you. But Mama JF chose to go another way, went off grid, and on her own volition. So that's a project that she had been working on and preparing for many years. And I have respected her liberty in doing so. So she chose to go. And now the police is looking for her because she has given no news to anyone. And she could be dead. She could be dead, or she could be having fun at some party and just didn't hear about her loved ones who are worried about her.
Now, JF, you can understand how this could turn into such a human interest piece. It was an explosive bombshell that you dropped on your show. It's been picked up by multiple shows, and the entire internet has been speculating about where is Mama JF.
Clouds in doubt. How long has she been disappeared for? As far as what he's saying, she's been missing since June, mid-June. But he didn't say anything about it. He says that it wasn't his business to know where she was going, so he didn't make a stink about it. But the police have been investigating it for the past few days because somebody else, a third party, was concerned about her safety and called it in. But he's known that she's been gone since mid-June and didn't say a fucking word about it. Come on.
What did that evil JF Gariépy do to her, right? I've seen this over and over and over and over again. Now, to be fair, JF, it's a little odd to kind of go on your show and drop a bombshell and say, hey, listen, not only is she disappeared, but she just kind of conveniently decided to make sure to leave no trace of herself behind, no way to contact her, no way to discuss anything
It's
with her.
so weird. It doesn't make sense.
Weird, right?
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
You can think all of the weirdness you want, but it's the kind of girl that accepts having, sex with me. So it's just, sorry. If you ever find a normie 100 IQ woman who's a elementary school teacher who wants to date me, okay, you'll have a more normal JF life. But as long as you send me these girls, it's going to get weird, yes.
So let's move.
So he openly admits to seeking out bizarre women that are not all there mentally.
Backwards into the day that you dropped Mama JF off. Can you just give us kind of a brief overview of what led to this, and what was the day that you actually did drop her off?
So Mama JF, the events that led to it is years of Mama JF wanting to go away, feeling that perhaps what she wanted to do with me was done for her, and she brought lots of joy in my life, and I'm very thankful to her for that. So to me, it's like, okay, you came in my life and you gave me great things, the most important things in life. And so I'm not going to complain if you want to go out and be peaceful and, go out without destroying everything, without attacking the family. And so she chose to go out, and she has prepared for this for years. In fact, in 2021, she had done a test run of this trip. Basically,
I'm sorry, none of this is making any sense. None of this is making any sense at all. Okay, how do I word this where I don't result in a crazy French white nationalist trying to drag me into the court and potentially getting sued? There are a lot of people on the internet that think that he killed this woman. And I'm not going to say that he killed this woman, but what I will say is this. If it came out eventually that he killed this woman, I would not be surprised.
Oh shit!
Is that going to save my ass in court? I hope so. But anyway, let's continue.
Her strategy was to hitchhike, and in 2021, she did from our current location to Quebec, which is more than 10 hours of driving. She did it all on hitchhiking, and this was in her habits before. She has done this all of her life before joining my life. So I took her out of a very hipster lifestyle, hippie lifestyle. She has traveled across the world, from Czech Republic to Spain to North Africa, going through borders, sometimes with passports, sometimes without passports. She has been around the world with these tricks of her of survival, and she was decided that in June, that was her target day to go away and do it again, but perhaps in a more serious way, perhaps in a more permanent way. I didn't know. So all I knew is that she would leave, and that perhaps she could come back weeks later, or perhaps she would never come back.
Swangberg in the chat says, wait, so he let a girl with the ability, the mental ability of a 10-year-old girl go by herself? No, this is not, I know it's a little bit confusing because earlier in the stream, I brought up the fact that he had dated some really young girl that was so autistic that she had the mental capacity of a 10-year-old. This is not the same person. Having said that, we did show clips earlier that made it very clear that this girl also is not quite there mentally upstairs. This is why it doesn't make sense to me. We're talking about someone who very, very clearly, okay, has some type of mental impairment. And this person randomly comes to you as, this is your girlfriend. She comes to you and just is like, yeah, I want to go on a backpacking trip in the woods or hitchhiking or whatever. And I just want to go. I just want to go and do my own thing. And I just want to go. And your response to this woman, who very clearly is not mentally there upstairs, is sure, go ahead. What?
I do not know. She was cryptic in leaving. And so in May, she started equipping herself, buying camping material. She ordered stuff on Amazon. And the kind of thing that allows you to survive in the wild or be around a campfire comfortably, that kind of stuff. And in June, she was prepared. And on June 17th, she asked me to give her a first drive, which she had done in the past also. Mama JF likes to be brought at certain place where she knows that there are more truckers, where she has more chances to get a hitchhike customer, not a customer, but a hitchhike person willing to carry her. And so I brought her exactly at the place where she wanted, which was close to a bridge in Canada.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay. If my wife had just randomly come up to me and was like, yeah, can you drop me off at this gas station so I can go on a random hitchhiking trip by myself and I'll just come back whenever I come back, I would look at my wife like she had lost her fucking mind. And I'm like, babe, are you crazy? Like, that's not a normal thing that we're not talking about you going on a vacation. Okay. We're not talking about you going on a vacation or a little trip, something that's like official or whatever. Like, normal people don't just ask their boyfriend to drop them off at a random fucking gas station or truck stop and just be like, yeah, just drop me off there and I'm going to go hitchhiking and I'll just be back whenever I'm back. Like, what? No, that doesn't happen.
That is very well known. And that is the most passing place where she can grab a trucker that she knows will do for her many hours of traveling. So I dropped her there in front of cameras of a gas station. I'm giving these details for the conspiracy theorists out there who think I'm a murderer. And I gave, by the way, everything I'm telling you tonight, Andrew, I told the police.
I understand.
It's funny, like, when you feel the need to give, like, excessive amounts of details like this, like, I understand, like, he's giving these, like, excessive amounts of details to try and cover his ass. But, like, when you feel the need to, like, over-explain things like this, it just makes you look more suspect. Like, why did he feel the need to specify that he dropped her off in front of surveillance cameras and like shit? Like, it just seems so much weirder to like give such minute little details, doesn't it? Like, one in the chat if you agree that just makes it seem so much weirder and so much more suspect, right?
So I dropped her in front of cameras at a gas station, and at the beginning,
not just dropped her off at a gas station, dropped her off in front of cameras at the gas station.
The investigation, that was the last time anyone saw her, and that was the last time I saw her. On June, in the early afternoon, June 17th, she was at that gas station telling me goodbye and equipped for her trip. She did travel, and in the 2 following days, I knew that she was alive. So June 18, June 19, we had some contacts and some exchanges.
What sort of contact?
Even something as simple as specifying, I knew that she was alive. It's really fucking weird. Why? Okay, if he's under the impression that she's okay, right? That's his whole shtick right there is, she's okay. I have no reason to believe she's not. Why would you feel the need to specify in the way that you did? Oh, like, I knew she was alive. Yeah, I was aware that she was alive. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a little bit like biased here because I already am mad sus of the guy, but that just seems really weird to me. To feel the need to specify little fucking details about I dropped her off in front of surveillance cameras at the gas station and I was aware at this time that she was alive, chat.
Oh shit!
It's just really weird.
It's in exchanges, JF.
Well, I think we tried calling each other at some point. The reception wasn't super good, and then we transferred to text. We discussed. I wanted to make sure that she was okay. On June 19th, I had her last contact in text. And she told me basically that she would drop her cell phone behind. She would abandon her cell phone, and that she would not be reachable. And I just made sure that she didn't have any evil intent against me. I said, are your new plans dangerous for me? Are you going to attack me in any way? And she said, no, you don't have to be worried. I am just going away and I will not be reachable. I have a plan. So those are the last words of Mama JF to me. And on that very day where she sent...
See, that, again, at that point, okay, for me, it would be weird just for my wife to ask to go on this trip to begin with, okay? That in itself would be weird to me, like, what the fuck? But let's just say for some reason, I threw caution to the wind, and I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me, babe, but all right, you want to go hitchhiking across the country? Whatever, you do you. I'll drop you off at the gas station and you can go hitchhiking. That would not happen with me, but just in this hypothetical, let's just say, okay, fine. I'll drop you off at the gas station. You can go on your little hitchhiking trip, okay? The moment that my wife contacted me 2 or 3 days later and was like, I know I agreed to keep in touch with you and stuff like that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going off the grid. I'm getting a new phone. I'm going off the grid or whatever, disconnecting from the grid. At that point, I would be concerned. Like, at that point, I'm getting on the horn with the police, and I'm like, hey, something's up with, like, my wife. She left for a trip, and now she's basically telling me she's going off the grid, and something's wrong here. Could we, like, do something, right? I feel like that's, like, normal behavior in that situation. But, I mean, it's normal behavior to question why your significant other would want to go on this trip to begin with. But, like, that's the thing. That nothing normal is happening in this situation, like, at all. Like, this is so bizarre. Also, if she got a new phone, wouldn't she try to contact her family with her new number? Oh, nothing about this makes sense. Nothing about this makes sense.
To that text, we now know that she was seen in another location than the gas station I dropped her.
Yeah, I actually have that here. This is the RCMP who are continuing their investigation into this case. And this was released, looks like they say that the last time that she was seen was on June 19th. And so this is when you're saying is the last time you talked to her as well.
Yes. So on June 19th, she has sent that text.
Okay, that's fucking weird too. The last time she was publicly seen by anyone else just happens to be the last time he says he spoke to her. Come on. This is not normal. This is so fucked, chat. This is not normal, chat. What the fuck?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Something's up. Something's up.
And she was seen by people there in Moncton, New Brunswick, which is at least 2 hours, about 2 hours, I think, from where we live. So she had done already some traveling on hitchhiking, and she had gone from the gas station I had left her, and she was already progressing on her trip. That is the last time, for now, that we know publicly and that I know. It's the last time anyone has ever saw her or communicated with her. So we, of course, during all this time, I informed her family that she was going toward them because I knew that she was probably headed west in Canada. So I informed the people around her and the people who care about her.
Whenabouts was this that you informed them?
From the very day I dropped her on June 17th. And so they knew about it. And the position of her family, who loves her very much, is that you cannot retain a woman against her will. And they have always been clear to me that They don't want me to beat Mama JF. They don't want me to intimidate Mama JF. And I've always lived by these principles anyway. So it's not like I need.
Why would he feel the what? Okay. I remember when I started dating my wife, having conversations with, her family, her loved ones, her parents, a lot of, families of women when you're dating them and stuff like that. They'll, if you ever hurt her, you'll have problems with me or, stuff like that. The kind of stuff that, it's normal to say because you don't want the person that your loved one is in a relationship with to hurt them. Okay. I've had those kind of conversations, but I've never had my in-laws tell me, feel the need to specify, don't try to contain her to the home where she can't leave and don't try to beat her and stuff this is very bizarre. So many of the things that he's saying are very, very bizarre.
Needed to be told by them not to do that, but we were all agreeing that if Mama JF wants to travel, she can, and that she is a free woman and she has a full understanding of the risks. There are risks.
The family that you talk to, is this like extended family, mom, dad, this kind of thing?
Yeah, mom, dad, close family of that kind.
Yeah, exactly. Siberian Winter in the chat says, why would you need to tell your child's partner not to abuse your child? It's common fucking sense, right? And that's not to say that abuse doesn't happen. Unfortunately, domestic abuse does happen. But it's one thing, like I said, to have sort of in a joking tone tell your daughter's partner you better never hurt them or you're gonna have issues with me. That's kind of a normal thing, but why would a parent ever feel the need to go into such great degree of don't ever try to detain our kid to your home, our daughter to your home, or don't ever beat her? What the fuck?
Okay, so they were aware when you dropped her off that you were dropping her off on the 17th. They knew completely what was going on. This was viewed on surveillance cameras. And has she had any communication with them?
This is a personal relationship between them, so I don't know in full, but I know that since June 19th, they are also looking for her. So I would suppose that they haven't gotten any communication from her.
Okay, gotcha. So I went actually and pulled out my own hiking gear, and I did just to kind of wait it all out. And I go and hike quite a bit myself. For 2 straight days of hiking in the wilderness, I carry about 35 pounds of equipment, which is a little more than you should. Okay, but I always prepare for contingencies, emergencies, things like this. If I was going to go out for a week, it would probably be around 55, 60 pounds. What sort of equipment was Mama JF going into the wilderness with? According to the kind of update missing persons report, she was just kind of seen with a nap bag, right? Just a regular backpack. So what was she carrying in the terms of survival gear, JF?
That's a good question, because he's talking about how she was gathering supplies for months for this trip or whatever. And now the police are reporting that she just had a pretty standard fare backpack or whatever the fuck. So what kind of supplies did she pack up that, is for this extended trip, the survival trip, right? But the police are reporting that she just had a backpack, right?
Well, I know that she's been collecting a lot of stuff, the kind of things like a stool for sitting around fires, some material to light a fire, a knife. But looking at the size of her bag as she left, I wouldn't think that she was going at the point when she left. I wouldn't think that she was going for extended survival in nature. Mama JF, when she goes on hitchhiking trips, she uses human society a lot. She will ask for help. She will find new friends to partner with. She will receive help and gifts and food. We're not talking, at least as far as I know, she had no intent of going into the actual forest surviving for extended period. She may pass in a forest at times to get from one road to another, but that is it. Mama JF
Gotcha.
is
So you're
a
talking about
urban creature.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
urban survival is what you're talking
Yes.
about. Okay. So one of the keys here though is
So
that
then why would she be buying like camping? If her intent is to go on urban survival, why would she be buying camping supplies and tools to sit around, like be comfortable around a fire and light a fire? And none of this is making any sense. He's talking about it as if she's buying like camping gear to survive in the woods. And now he's talking about oh no, she does like urban survival. Nothing he says makes even a minute bit of sense, chat.
if you're going to cross borders and you're going to do this kind of thing, that you've expressed kind of, it's been a meme on the internet, 00 Mama JF, right? 00 agent. That's still going to require things like passports, sets of identification, things like this. You would think that the authorities could fairly easily track that stuff down if she had been crossing into any borders. So it stands to reason she's likely still in Canada, right?
As the investigator told me exactly this, and I said, Mama JF is a special case.
John D in the chat says, I'm watching Luke Ford streaming and see some of the comments saying this guy is similar to Jeffrey Epstein. It's funny you mentioned Jeffrey Epstein. There's a clip I need to see if I could find. Oh my God. Can I find this clip? Oh no. I'm actually glad you brought this up because it reminded me of something that I totally forgot about. Holy shit. JF. How do you spell his name again? Gariépy? I'm not going to be able to find. Does anybody in chat know this clip that I'm talking about? The clip? Yes, I know the clip. Fembro, can you find me that clip? Because I'm looking on YouTube and I'm not able to find the clip anywhere. Don't say what the clip is. Can you find me the clip, Fembro? And while I'm at it, I'm gonna pull up this here. Uber in the chat is posting something. Let me see what you got here, Uber. But yeah, try to find me that clip. Oh, Uber posted it. That's what. Okay, cool. Thank you, Uber. Round of applause in chat for Uber. Okay, so who was the one that brought up Jeffrey Epstein in the chat? Who brought up Jeffrey Epstein? I don't remember who it was in the chat, but somebody brought up them being like Jeffrey Epstein. You are not about to. It was John D. Okay, you are not going to believe what I'm about to show you about JF right now, chat. We have this clip of JF with Richard Spencer. Yes, the Richard Spencer. And you're not going to believe what you're about to hear right now. Check this out.
Just for transparency, because I was talking about a news item about Jeff Epstein, and I announced that God. Jeff Epstein has once contributed to the start of my YouTube channel with a $25,000 check, and that since then my YouTube channel has kind of taken a different direction, and people were scandalized. They were like, JF is an agent of a Jewish millionaire rapist. And as I
indicated, that person. You were joking, I presume.
No, I'm not joking. This is real. Jeff Epstein was a founder to one of my nonprofits in the U.S. with a $25,000 check in 2015, I believe.
Wow. So this is the Jeffrey Epstein who has like a pedophile island or something, and is Clinton.
Well, at
backer?
the time, he had not been found guilty, I believe, of this yet, but there were allegations coming out in the media, but I didn't care. I mean, to me, if you hate pedophiles, you should want to take the money out of their bank account and put it in other people's bank accounts. So from a moral perspective, I was totally fine with that.
This is the caliber of person we're dealing with here.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I am so glad John D brought that up because oh my God, I would not have remembered to bring that up if you did. Holy shit.
She has not been, she has shown in the past being able to switch countries at time using networks of smuggling.
He took money from a literal pedophile, chat.
Pedophile!
Do you touch kids?
When she visited the Spain enclave in North Africa, where she was observing migrant movements. She went there, and I believe that she had lost her passport and was able to get from country to country without passport. And so, as I said to the investigator, sure, I don't expect her to be outside of Canada, but I also wouldn't bar it as an hypothesis.
Well, I mean, there's only one place that she could go from Canada, which would be...
If he's telling the police stuff like that, it's almost like he's trying to dissuade the police from looking for her. Like, she could be anywhere. She could even be outside of Canada. Like, is it just me, or does it really seem like he's trying to talk the police out of looking for her?
Right, south into the United States. That would basically be where she could go.
That is a false
right?
assumption. As I said on my show, she could be on a container of bananas headed toward Peru right now.
Do you think that that's actually likely?
I think it's totally possible. Mama Jeff is capable of everything. There is not a sort of travel that she hasn't done.
It literally sounds like he's trying to dissuade anybody from looking into her.
That's interesting. And what did the investigators say when he told them that?
And well, I told them you'll basically be pursuing a fugitive who has committed no crime. Basically, Mama JF will hide from you guys. And if you want to have fun finding her, go ahead. But you're probably trying to... And this is my point to the investigator. I get it that you have standards. You have to do stuff. And when you hear about a woman who has disappeared, you have to unleash the whole cavalry at her no matter what. We don't know. She could be in danger. But most likely you're deploying all of these efforts for a party girl who just happens to be hiding very well.
Yeah, I mean...
It literally sounds like he's just trying to talk them out of, like, you're wasting your time. Like, he's literally saying, you're wasting your time. She probably just doesn't want to be found. Do what you must, but I feel like you're wasting your time. Come on.
If I was in the investigator's shoes, and I'm just going to be as completely blunt and honest as I can be, of course, that would sound really weird to me that you take a woman, and this is uncommon anyway for women to be traveling alone, especially in this day and age. Let alone, cross country and hidden in banana carts and, things like this, being smuggled across borders, 007 style, and also killing all of
the fact that he's like so smug and he just thinks this whole thing's funny. Like, my dude, your girlfriend is missing. Police are searching for your missing girlfriend, and this is your face right here. This is chat. This is the face of a... Well, what the... Oh my... I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless, Chad. What the fuck? What do they call that? What do they call that expression that, like, people will have in their face when they think they've deceived someone? Duping delight, the expression of duping delight. Like, that's what that is right there, chat. Like, what? Holy shit.
Their electronic equipment so that nobody can track them. It does sound really suspicious. Like, I almost don't blame the internet for being kind of mad at you, JF, because it sounds awful fucking suspicious.
Yeah, duper's delight.
And it's okay that these suspicions develop. Let me tell you, the investigators are super professionals. And they didn't fall for what the trolls of the internet right now are falling. For what the Ramsey Paul of this world. You know, Ramsey Paul is on exactly the line of logic you just laid out here.
Oh, is this where he gets like okay? There's a part where he gets like super triggered, and it just makes him look even more sus. I think it's right. I think it's coming up right now.
Oh, it's weird. Oh, you cleaned your house after she was gone. It's weird. Let me tell you.
I did see that video, by the way.
The policemen have shown so much more intelligence than these people who I considered friends. Like Ramsey Paul has been a guest on my show before. I didn't expect to be betrayed like this. But the investigators, they don't fall for this crap. The investigators are all about facts, and they have ways of checking what you say. I remember the first time they interviewed me, he looked at me in the eye and he said, "So you're telling me that we're going to see your car at this date, at this hour, on this camera?" And I said, "Yes, you will."
If they are JF, if they are grilling you like that, they think you're a suspect. Maybe they haven't informed you that they suspect you just yet, but if they are grilling you to that degree, you are a suspect in this situation.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Jeez.
So they didn't fall for me being a suspect at all, ever, at no point of this investigation.
That's what you
despite the
think.
fact that I laid out exactly the same story that I lay out on the internet. So you say, yes, people have their suspicions. I believe that if we can use this case, because of all the nervousness that it induces in all of our family and everything, I think we can use this case positively to detect an epistemological error in how the mobs process guilt in our world, and how we always go to the man, and the closest man is always guilty no matter what. I have people telling me, "You're still guilty even if you didn't kill her. You're guilty of neglect."
I saw that video clip.
And you're still guilty if you haven't neglected her. You're guilty of not having convinced her to stay. At this point, I'm guilty of what? Of being a man and having a woman who doesn't want to be with me anymore? It's insane. They want you to keep the woman, but if you keep her, then you're a kidnapper. But if you let her go, then you're a neglectful husband. I say crap to all this, and I say, Mama JF is a free woman who has demonstrated extreme ability for survival. Like the chances that you wouldn't get raped through what she's gone through in her life is almost zero. And yet she has done it, and she has never had harm come her way against her will. And so I respect.
Well, we know that's not true because we saw the clip where she mistakens no white guilt for someone who had previously attacked her. And you confirmed that that was the case. So what are you talking about? Yes, she has had harm brought to her.
Her intelligence and her capacities. This is a woman who can pull out a violin from her box and come play with me on the show while I do an improvised tune that she's never heard about. This is a high IQ, extremely capable woman.
Okay, chat. I'm not doing this to insult this woman. I'm not doing this to insult this woman, but chat, do I have to bring up the video that we watched earlier? He expects us to believe that this is a high IQ woman. Do you remember the clips we saw of this woman earlier? Where are these clips? Where let me bring up my YouTube history. I have to bring this up because I'm sorry, you cannot convince me that this is a high IQ woman to the degree that he's describing. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
So no white guilt is a ghost, according to Mama JF. I will say as a journalist, I have a duty here not to allow defamation. And I will say that the theory that no white guilt is a shape-shifting ghost is unsupported at the moment, in my view. All right, we have a question for Mama JF coming on the super chat.
Oh, I didn't play this one earlier. Oh, chat, you have to hear this.
K. Max McDonald says, Mama Jeff, what is your background?
Listen to this story, chat.
What country do you derive your ethnic heritage from?
I can't answer that. Before, I had a bad life, but then after I discovered GF, then I started to look at GF every day. I was always looking at GF. I became crazy. I lost everything I had. I lost my job, my family. I quit school. I lost everything. I was just looking at GF all the time. I was crazy. And then after I wrote to him, I said, GF, I want to suck your dick. And then he told me. And
does this sound like a high IQ woman? Like, again, I'm not trying to insult her, but does this sound like a high IQ woman? She lost everything in her life because she developed an obsession with JF, and she randomly sent him a DM talking about how she wanted to suck his dick. Like, this is... No, I'm sorry. You cannot convince me that this is a highly intelligent woman.
And that's my background.
You lost your job because you were addicted.
I lost everything.
You lost everything because you were addicted to my shows.
Yeah, I was just looking at your show all the time. Even I had a job, and I was going to hide in the bathroom to listen to your show. And I was then my boss said, "Why you always disappeared for 10 minutes?" Then you fired me. I lost everything, my family, my friends, everything, because I was just looking at GF show all the time.
You've never told me that.
Yeah.
Wow. That is some dedicated fan right here.
What? She lost everything because she was obsessed with watching his show, to the point where she would sneak off to the bathroom at work and waste time in the bathroom watching his show. And again, she was so obsessed with him, she randomly sent him a DM saying that she wanted to suck his dick.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah, highly intelligent person, my guy. Yeah, for sure.
And personally, I always told the investigator, I don't think she's in trouble. I still think as of today that she is good.
Gotcha. Well, I think there's a lot of merit in what you're saying when it comes to, like, why would you instantly, without knowing much about the case, cast aspersions? I think that it's okay for people to inquire if something sounds off. I think that it's wrong for them to jump to conclusions. I do also understand, though, that while you are correct that they probably shouldn't point directly at the closest man, oftentimes the closest man is responsible for the disappearance. If we look at the stats, I mean, that does happen quite often. Most murders happen from family members, things like that.
But
and everybody thinks they're an internet detective.
What
right?
a wonderful computation. You
look at he gets triggered again. He gets like really mad. Any little bit of like pointing in the direction of him, like talking about how, like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty common for these kind of scenarios to end in some kind of like abuse or, you know, murder of like a partner. And he gets really upset about it.
Just did, except that it's only allowed against white men. Make that computation against any other category and we'll see what happens to you.
Well, I mean, it's just men in general, isn't it?
Well, no, because there are statistics that would allow me to say the exact same bigoted thing you just said. And they would allow me to say it, and I could get banned for saying it. Yeah. So people wake up, just check your own bigotry. You guys are all after me, and ultimately it's because you hate men.
I mean...
Did he just say that people suspect some kind of wrongdoing on his part because they have bigotry towards men?
Hold on, retard break. I need a retard break. Give me a retard break for like 2 fucking minutes, okay? I can't keep listening to fucking retards.
Oh my god.
You can shut the fuck up, bitch.
I mean, fair enough. I was just going off of like the stats that they show when it comes to if a person has actually been murdered at all. It usually comes from the family.
Yeah, but we don't do accusations of murder in this society on stats. It's like I could be part of a group of people who murder a lot, and I could happen to be the one who doesn't murder. And our society has a commitment to principles of due process that allow us to say, even if you're a group that commits a lot of murder, we're never going to get at you if you haven't done it.
Yeah, I mean, right. But if you were a detective, let's say JF, and you had worked like 1,000 of these types of cases, like a whodunit style case, I mean, if all the statistics and most of what you saw showed that it comes from the family and generally from them, I mean, wouldn't you logically follow that in your investigation style?
No, and see, this kind of probabilistic thinking is exactly the kind of parasite that's taking over society like a cancer.
This is JF right now.
We must eliminate it completely. What you mentioned there is not investigative good practice. And what I've seen from the police of the federal government of Canada and the major crime unit is not what you lay out at all right here. They don't care about probabilities. They care about facts. They care about everything they can know for sure.
Emmy in the chat says, is he coping and seething? Yes.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping.
Very much so.
Coping so hard. Shut up, bitch.
And they start from what they have that they can know for sure, and then they make a step above, and then they question, and then they integrate all this information, and they don't ask themselves, is it likely that? Is it likely this? They go with what they know, and they make one more step, and one more step. And now they're at their second step. They are now in Moncton 2 days after I dropped Mama JF. That is good police work. And what you mentioned there is what I've seen again and again in family courts and social workers and that kind of bigoted bureaucrats who kidnap children. And I say, fuck this.
That
I'm so happy to be surrounded by professionals for once who won't do these probabilistic calculation. Finally, in my life, for the first time, I get due process.
Well, I mean, I think what you're saying.
He is so mad, chat. Holy shit. All right. I just got to be honest. Like, if we find this woman alive, I will be very, very fucking surprised. Because, okay, even if he didn't murder this woman, leaving a woman who very clearly does not have the mental capacity to take care of herself, just leaving her alone to fend for herself, he might as well have killed her at that point, because like we have no idea where this woman is now. And according to what he's saying, he hasn't spoken to her since mid-June. And he didn't say a fucking word about it. It was a concerned third party that noticed that she had gone missing and reported this. And he's just nonchalantly acting like, oh, it's no big deal. It's whatever. She's probably fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat. But I think that there's a good chance that this woman is probably not going to be found alive. And I think there's a good chance he probably had something to do with it. Okay, I just got to be honest. None of this shit makes sense. And I am deeply concerned for this woman's safety.